Good afternoon, students. We are in the last portion of lesson 8, role of parliament in democracy. Yesterday I had sent you the syllabus of the upcoming periodical assessment. Social science is also one subject in that, and the syllabus already I told you 5 to 8 lessons are there, but in between 7th lesson is remaining that we will try to complete. If it is not completed, don't worry, up to where we have completed that only you learn. The remaining I will adjust with the questions, but I will try to complete it. And lesson number 9 is not given by the government now in the syllabus, but we have already completed lesson number 9, but no need to learn it for the coming periodical test. 5 to 8 you concentrate, and along with that science and maths also there, so you have to spend more time for preparation for this periodical assessment. Last time it was language, comparatively easy. Now math, science and SS, more time you should devote for preparation. So all the best, prepare well. The dates your class teachers will give you according to the subject wise, then question paper also you will get. So now we are explaining about that how is Rajya Sabha formed, that we had completed. And Rajya Sabha, it is a permanent house, but it never dissolves. 1/3 of the member of Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years, and their tenure after completing 6 years. So Rajya Sabha members tenure 6 years. In all other times there it will be 5 years only, but they are retiring after completing this 6 years. In every 2 years they are adjusting 1/3 of the total number. So it never gets never gets dissolved completely, but the process is going on, so that we can say that it is a permanent house. Other houses, otherwise other lower house, legislative assembly, otherwise in Lok Sabha, in central government Lok Sabha, it is not permanent. After every 5 years, otherwise in before 5 years also, if emergency situation arise, election will be held. So that house will be there, but the members and the other things will be changing in every 5 years completely. So that it is telling this Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. And what is the importance of Rajya Sabha, that also we had seen, to pass a bill and to make it a law. Then in the, after presenting it in Lok Sabha, then it should be passed by the Rajya Sabha also, then only it will go to the president. And the person who presides over the session, presiding over, otherwise who is controlling all this session of Rajya Sabha, is known as chairman. Who is the chairman? The Vice President of India. I told you to find out Vice President, MP. Have you completed the homework? All these are some important questions which I am giving, because the question is from government. Maybe asked all these type of questions also, we are not sure, but whatever I am telling you, try to find out and note down in your CW book also. Okay. And now some questions that at that time previous class I told you, after completing this we will tell. First one, see page number 50, the questions. Who presides over the sections of Lok Sabha / Rajya Sabha? Is there a need of a person to regulate and control the session? Why? Who presides over the session of Lok Sabha? Lok Sabha session is presiding over by the speaker, Lok Sabha speaker. So you mentioned there Lok Sabha speaker. In the next page it is there in page number 51, second last paragraph, the last word speaker. So Lok Sabha presiding over by speaker, and Rajya Sabha by the chairman, otherwise the Vice President of India. So first question, first part, 2 answers are there. Who presides over the session of Lok Sabha? The answer is speaker. And Rajya Sabha, the answer is chairman, and in the bracket you can write the chairman is the Vice President of India. Okay. Is there a need of a person to regulate and control the sessions? Why? Definitely a person should be there. Yes, there is a need of a person to regulate and control the session to smooth it in a proper way, because in a democratic system the parliament consists Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President. So, both the houses are very important. So, one person should be there to regulate all the activities. How can you write the answer? Yes, it is very important. One person should be there to regulate and control the activities, because in democratic system Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both are part of a part of the parliament, and so in this parliamentary actions the one person should be there to regulate. Next one, to whom are the questions addressed? It is about in Lok Sabha. To whom are the questions addressed? The questions are addressed to the speaker. Okay. The questions are asked in which language? See, one person from Gujarat, otherwise many MPs from Gujarat, many from Maharashtra, many from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So, there is no common language. Maybe English, many of them knowing, but some of them not knowing. Many of them are knowing Hindi, but some of them are not knowing Hindi. So, how can we converse in parliament? How can we ask the question in parliament? Which languages are allowed in parliament? This is important, because parliament represents the entire India. India is a state of such diversity, language, custom, culture and everything. So, language is very important factor. 22 languages are admitted by India. But how, which languages are using in parliament? Otherwise, how suppose one language I am using, suppose I am from Kerala, can I use Malayalam in parliament? Otherwise, you are from Gujarat, suppose you are an MP from Gujarat, can you use Gujarati in parliament? Then how the other people representing from other state can understand this? So, this is a problem. So, that is why this question is there. The questions are asked in which language? Now, in parliament you can ask in any language, but which language you use before 24 hours you should inform there. If you are an MP, member of parliament, otherwise you are a minister, whoever it may be, and in which language you are going to speak, otherwise you are answering the questions, then that you should inform. Suppose if it is Malayalam, otherwise in Hindi or in English, whatever it may be, you should inform 24 hours before. Then translator will be there. So, that language will not be a problem there. Your language you can use, they will be arranging a translator for the other people. Okay. Next one, what is the facility provided to member of parliament who does not understand the language of conversation in the session? Already I have told the answer. The parliament will provide the facility of a translator to otherwise what we can say Dvibhashi, the person who can translate the other language in a proper way. So, translator can be used. What do you expect from the member of parliament of your area? Do you have any expectation? See, you are selected a person, otherwise your parents, now you have not casted your vote as the age limit is there. When your parents selected a person, elected a person as a member of parliament from your area, then they must expect something from him, no? What? Cash? Kind? No. His service for our area, otherwise for his constituency, Bharuch constituency. Member of parliament, for example, Mansukh Wasawa. What works, otherwise what service you expect from him? That is the question. So, you can write according to your demand, so that you can say that he must represent our problems in parliament. We do not have good higher education facilities here in Bharuch, we do not have very good hospitals here in Bharuch, and we have not proper drainage system in Bharuch. Like that, if you see, a lot of troubles are there in Bharuch also. In any constituency, according to the constituency, whatever the basic necessities they need, otherwise whatever the higher institutions for the social welfare you need, that they can present there in parliament, and they will they have to try to get the permission from the concerned authority for doing all these things. So, you can write this, we expect this kind of service from MP. Only just you are selecting for 5 years casting vote, and after every 5 years they are enjoying there, then nothing is doing for the constituency. That is not good. Why we are electing them? Because we expect something from for the welfare of the constituency. So that point also you can write here. Next thing, questions also given there. So these answers you should write in CW. Okay. Next thing, question, which are the two houses of parliament? Which are the two houses? The upper house and lower house. The upper house is known as Rajya Sabha and lower house is known as Lok Sabha. Then mention the functions of Lok Sabha. What are the functions of Lok Sabha? Here it is given in page number 49. Parliament functions are stated below. Number 1, to control the government and to provide information and guidance to it. Then to make laws and make amendments. 2 points are there. This is the answer. Then what are the functions and powers of the Prime Minister? First you should mention about what are the functions, then power of Prime Minister. Then how can you write the answer? Prime Minister, who is the is known as the head of the ruling party. Last class we have seen that the Prime Minister of India is the head of the ruling party. So that is his power. He is the head of the ruling party. He can decide what the party is going to do for the welfare of the people. So he has to do, the Prime Minister has to give complete welfare activities to the public in all related. Even different ministers are there, different sections are there, categorized duties are given, but overall who controls everything, that is in the hands of Prime Minister. So power of Prime Minister is that he is the head of the ruling party. Then what are the functions? He has to do all the functions for the welfare of the people. This way you present the answer. Then why is Rajya Sabha never dissolved completely? Because it is a permanent house. Page number 50. First, how is Rajya Sabha formed? In that paragraph, first paragraph, third line. Last sentence, the Rajya Sabha is the permanent house. It never gets dissolved completely. 1/3 of the members of Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years after completing their 6 years term, and the new members are inducted. So it is a permanent house. So that this is the answer. That also to be written in CW. If you were a member of the parliament, what would you do for the people? Suppose in future you wanted to get into politics, you any party, I am not mentioning the party, but you became an MP of Bharuch. What things you will do for Bharuch? That you write. The answer is up to your choice. Whatever the welfare activities that you can do for the people of Bharuch, your constituency, Bharuch and surrounded regions. So that means good higher hospital, higher educational colleges, hospitals, good roads, and then a good city without that much traffic congestion and all this thing. Like that, a lot of development you can bring. So that way you think and write. If you were the Prime Minister, what would you do for the welfare of people? And gradually you just to imagine that you also one day you also will become a Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Then what things you can do for nation? And in English also, in essay writing also, this type of questions will be there. What you will do for the nation if you one day become the Prime Minister of India. Like that, essay questions also can be asked, even board exams also. So this last 2 questions, 5 and 6 questions, according to your choice you can write, but you should write all these questions. 5 questions are there in page number 50, 6 questions are there in page number 51. So this last 2 questions point wise you can write, but if it is essay, then you should develop. Here for social science you can write point wise. I will do the following things, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, so CW work must be completed because this lesson is included in periodical assessment. So give much concentration on all these type of questions. Now we are moving to the next session, that is question hour session in the parliament. Question hour, who is asking questions? वहाँ भी कोई टीचर है क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछने के लिए? But the word itself is question hour session. When the parliament is in session, at the beginning of the day, the time for the question hour is decided upon. So when the parliament is in session, the beginning of the day, So, first meeting of parliament in a day, that will be question hour session. It will be starting time to almost after 11, otherwise near to 12. Then afterwards what time? That is known as 0 hour. 0 hour means after this question hour session, this will be almost 12 o'clock. Then at that time no other programs already fixed. So it is known as 0 hour. So there also you can ask, means the MPs, otherwise ministers, they can discuss the questions and answers. So here 0 hour is not mentioned in your textbook, just I am telling. But at the beginning of the day, the parliament session, that will be question hour. And what is the importance of this question hour? Why is this keeping this question? Let us see. During the question hour, the members of parliament ask questions to gather information on the working of government. Underline. What is the importance of this question hour? During question hour section, members of parliament, MPs, we know many people were elected, not from one party. BJP MPs are also there, Congress MPs also were sitting as opposition, then different Samajwad Party, Aam Aadmi Party, different parties are there in India. So whoever is elected, whoever is born as MPs, they are sitting there. So don't think that only BJP candidates are sitting, other candidates are also sitting. So otherwise MPs from other party, they are also sitting because they were elected during election, they were sitting there. Then who will be asking the question? Suppose now BJP is ruling. So whose chance will be more to ask the questions to the concerned minister? Definitely opposition party. Otherwise not the MPs from the ruling party, for MPs from the opposition party, otherwise from the other parties. Because they want to know what the government is doing. Suppose now it is question hour session, just to imagine that about Harshavardhan, who is the health minister, he is there. Then from Congress or from Aam Aadmi Party, whatever, whoever the MP sitting there, they are asking some questions regarding COVID-19. When it will be, when the vaccine will be releasing, otherwise what about the situation of the country and how the public gathering will be possible, related all these questions. And Education Minister, Human Resource Ministry is also sitting. Then the other MPs can ask questions regarding when the schools will be reopening and what will be the education system. Now it is all is online, and what will be the benefit of online class, what will be the dangerous situation of online classes. Like that, a lot of questions they can ask. Who can ask? The MPs. And what is the importance of this type of questions? This type of questions only make them creative, make them active, the ministers, because they are answerable to the questions, because those who are asking all are there in the parliament, they are representatives of people. People's representatives are only asking the questions, so they are answerable to these questions. So this is the importance. Then the health minister is telling that still now the vaccination, it is not finalized, we cannot say when it will be, maybe next July, otherwise something like that. Whatever the answer he has to answer. Then if some problem is there, again they will regarding that problem, again they will ask the questions. MPs will ask the questions. Like that, when how many questions they ask regarding the issues and regarding the solutions, then the minister, otherwise the ruling government, ruling party should be alert. Then only they can improve their efficiency. है ना, हमारा भी कोई आपका क्लास में ऐसा है, बहुत टाइट कंपटीशन है, about 90%, 95%, 6-7 students are there. Then there will be very tight competition. Yes. But only one student is there about 90% and the second ranker is just above 75%. There is no competition. Yes, because they know there is no one to ask, there is no one to defeat them. Then there is no proper working. Then what happens? The 75% students also will not improve, because he knows that oh I am in first or second in the class, no problem even if I am getting 75. But always this type of active question hour session, otherwise active questioning and finding out all the loopholes, drawbacks, defect of the ruling party, then the ruling party will be more alert. They will be very, very active to give proper guidance to the people. That is what it is telling, that functioning of parliament. At that time I told you, I will tell you about the coming lesson. What was that? To control the government and to provide information and guidance to it. Page number 49, functions of parliament number 1, to control the government and to provide information and guidance to it. Who controls the government? The parliament itself, government only. Then who controls? This question hour session mainly controls the government. The MPs from other parties, opposition parties, when they ask the questions, then that creative section, that way the government will be controlled, and also they will get guidance. Suppose if they had done something wrong, some loopholes are there, they have to rectify, they have to improve. Then through this discussion the government can do this. That's why this session is very important. Question hour session is very important. Okay. During the question hours, the members of parliament ask questions to gather information on the working of government. Underlined? This is how the parliament controls the executive. Legislature, executive. Executive means one who executes all this. This is the way the parliament controls the executives. Through the medium of questioning, members draw the attention of the government towards its loopholes, means drawbacks. Whatever the drawbacks, otherwise negative, otherwise wrong things, have something happened in their ruling, then the question hour section, the MPs will ask questions regarding that. In this way, the government comes to know about the views and opinions of the people through their representatives. Then the government can come to know whatever the decision we had taken, whether it is good for the public, whether they had accepted or not. If they are not satisfied, they are not accepted, then the government must rethink about this. This is important. In this way, the government comes to know about the views and opinions of the people through their representatives. It is an important responsibility of the member to question the government. Suppose one MP, he has to question the government. That is his duty. What is the duty of MP? He has to question the government, then he has to do welfare activities for his constituency, then he has to collect information and guidance to the government. All these are the functions of MPs also. The opposition party plays a major role in the effective administration of democracy. The opposition party, not the ruling party. Ruling party, the ruling government. Those who are there in the opposition party, those who did not get majority to rule, but they had won, some seats are there for them. So this opposition party also plays a major role in the proper administration in democracy. It highlights the loopholes in the policies and the programs of the government. How? Because the opposition party highlights the loopholes of the policies and programs of the government. The person who presides over the session in Lok Sabha is known as speaker. Already I told you that answer. So this paragraph, it is very important regarding two questions. One is, what is the importance of question hour session? Otherwise, explain about question hour session. The second question, why? Give reason. Why the opposition party plays a major role in democracy? The answer is same regarding the question hour session only. So from where this answer, I think this question is not given, it is given there at last also. So how can you write the answer? This paragraph, complete paragraph is needed when the parliament is in session. At the beginning of the day, time for the question hour is decided. From there to second last sentence, means government, highlight the loopholes in the policies and programs of the government. These two questions answers are there. Then according to the mark and according to the focus of the question, you should write the answer. Suppose why it is called, why opposition party plays a major role, then the question hour session you can reduce. During question hour session, the opposition party asks the questions. They just after writing that, Then you can come to the lowest point. The opposition party plays a major role in the effective administration in democracy. It highlights the loopholes in the policies and the programs of the government. Then here the answer is ready. Up to here. From starting up, you mention about question hour session, then the opposition party's portion, that much only needed. Then if the question is regarding question hour section, explain about question hour session, complete paragraph is needed. Understood? Like that way you prepare the answer. This is very important portion. Next we are telling about president. Three characters are there. One is main president, then Lok Sabha, then Raj Sabha. Now Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, it is clear. Now president's very short information is given there. President is the most important integral part of parliament. Underline. Who is the most important and integral part of the parliament? President. Why? A bill that is passed by both the houses. If a bill become a law after passing both the houses, Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, then it will become a law only after the president's signature. So that is why the role of president is very important. Then he has the power to decide about the meetings of the parliament and announces the completion of the session too. And what are the other duties, other power that he is using? He has the power to decide about the meeting of the parliament. Parliament meeting kab karna hai and when it should be wound up, otherwise completion of session. All these are deciding by president. And even president has some other major power also regarding some cases. Even Supreme Court, after final judgment of Supreme Court also, if the person want to go to the higher level, again he wants to go to the higher level, where he will go? We know the court hierarchy of the court, from the lower court, then district court, then high court, then Supreme Court. So from the lower court you can go to up to Supreme Court. Then even in the Supreme Court, if you are not satisfied, suppose someone got this death penalty or something like that, then he want to give some mercy plea. To whom he should give? Because Supreme Court is the higher authority. Now no one is there to give above that. But in such a situation, that person can present his mercy plea to the president. Then president can decide, suppose his death penalty should be given or not. Like that many examples are there in India also. Then the president can decide according to the crime that he had done. If he was a terrorist, then then president won't give any relaxation for that. But in some cases, if president can consider about his family, means about the culprit's family, atmosphere, otherwise his wife, regarding his children and education, if the president want to consider and reduce the death penalty to some other type of punishment, that the president only can do. It means that even after the Supreme Court decision, a culprit, if want to get mercy plea, he can approach president in India. But regarding two countries, suppose India and Pakistan, there some cases are there. Then after Supreme Court, it will go to International Court of Justice. That we will study in second semester. What is that? International Court of Justice. That is a part of UNO. One case is there in International Court of Justice. At that time, I will tell you regarding that. So here you consider that even the Supreme Court is the highest court, but from there also, if want to get one person want to get mercy plea, it depends on the decision of the president. So president's power is very important. So last paragraph is also very important. So this lesson we had completed. Now let us see the remaining questions also. What do we mean by democracy? What is its main aim? What do you mean by democracy? How can you write the answer? What do you mean by democracy? First paragraph, in democracy, last sentence, supreme power is vested in the people and is exercised directly by them or by their elected agents. Okay. Then the third paragraph, after that continuation only, the most important characteristics of democracy is that the sole power to rule is not in the hands of a person or group of people. Every citizen is a member in the decision making process. people themselves are the creators of their destiny, means third paragraph complete. So from this what is democracy is clear. Then in the fourth paragraph, the second sentence, the welfare of the people is the main aim of the government in democracy. That also, because what is its main aim, the second part of first question, the welfare of the people. So answer I think clear from first paragraph, last sentence, then third paragraph complete, then fourth paragraph second sentence. Clear? Which is the lower house of the parliament? Question number 2, Lok Sabha, lower Lok Sabha, L and L remain like that. Then mention the main functions of the parliament. 2 functions are there for parliament in page number 49, starting 2 functions of parliament, 1 and 2, that also mentioned there. Then what are the responsibilities of a member of parliament? MP, what are the responsibilities of MP, member of parliament? Then what answer you will say? Member of parliament, page number 49. How is Lok Sabha formed? There middle paragraph, middle sentence, means after third line ending. The candidates who contest for the seat in parliament are usually active in various political parties. The elected candidate known as member of parliament, and they all collectively form the Lok Sabha. Up to there you should write, and afterwards then question hour session, last portion. Middle paragraph, almost second last portion. It is an important responsibility of the members to question the government. That sentence also to be written. To question the government also is the important function of MPs. Okay. Then you can write, if it is for 5 mark question, something like that, then you can develop the answer in such a way that he should consider his constituency for all the welfare activities for constituency he tries to complete. It depends on the mark how much you can develop. Okay, but the clear answer is not given in the textbook. Who is MP? Then in the question hour session what the MP can do, this much basically to be written. Then according to the marks, if you want to develop the answer, then the constituency's development work that you can mention. Next, what does government come to know during question hour in the parliament? What does government come to know during question hour in the parliament? Second question hour session in the parliament, from second sentence. During the question hours, the members of the parliament ask questions to gather information on the working of the government. This is how the parliament controls executive. Through the medium of questioning, members draw the attention of the government towards its loopholes. In this way, the government comes to know about the views and opinions of the people through their representatives. Up to their representatives. From second sentence to representatives. Then how does the opposition party play an important role in democracy? That already I told you. The opposition party, during question hour session, the opposition party asked a lot of questions regarding the functioning of the government. First you should write like that. Then the remaining portion of that, abhi representatives tak humne liya. Then next to next line, the opposition party plays a major role in the effective administration of a democracy. It highlights the loopholes in the policies and the programs of the government. The person who presides, no, up to there only. Speaker no need to mention, but the person who presides over the Lok Sabha section, that is speaker, that you should learn. And find out who is the present speaker also. The name of the present Lok Sabha speaker. Okay, Rajya Sabha speaker will be the vice president, chairman. That yesterday, previous class already I told you. Today you find out who is the Lok Sabha speaker. Okay. Next one. When does a bill become a law? 7th standard also you studied, but according to this lesson, last paragraph, second sentence, a bill that is passed by both the houses can become a law only after his signature. Whose signature? Don't write his. Only after the signature of Indian President. Only, instead of his, you should write only after getting the signature of Indian President. Okay. Then what are the other functions of President? Then this complete paragraph you should mention. And if you remember, you can mention about that even after the Supreme Court judgment can be changed by the President of India. Okay, question answers clear. So a lot of questions are there from think questions also, 5 plus 6, 11, and here 7 questions are there, almost 18 questions. By Monday you should complete, because periodical assessment there may be chance to ask all this, but not too big questions. I am giving time up to Monday. Complete CW also, workbook also. Workbook not much is there. Then fill in the blanks. Generally the elections of Lok Sabha are held every 5 years. Prime Minister is appointed by, who is appointing the Prime Minister? President only. Prime Minister is appointed by the President. Who works as the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Who will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha? Vice President of India. Not the President, Vice President of India will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now see question 3, if you have any problems related to water, road, electricity, etc. in your village, locality or taluka, then whom would you approach with the matter and what would be your complaint? This also you can write in your own way. You can approach whom? There will be MLA in your constituency, MLA for Legislative Assembly, MP also will be there, and if it is Gram Panchayat, you can approach Gram Panchayat also, collector also. A lot of persons are there. Then related to this lesson, you can mention even MP's name also. Then you can solve the problem. But you should approach. But nowadays many people are not approaching because they think that ये तो सब चलता है, अरे वो लोग कुछ करते नहीं है, वोट लेने के लिए आते हैं, हम लोग ऐसा ही बोलते रहते हैं. But some people, otherwise some political parties, they should take interest on all these things. Then only the welfare of the people will be possible. Cleanliness, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and everything is there, but on the paper, not on the ground. Now on the ground reality, if it should work for working this, and otherwise to getting success on all these things, people should be there. Okay. So thank you. Do the homework and everything. Let's meet in the other class.